Alright. Alright. Looks like we got sound. Looks like we are live, probably. We are live. Oh, yeah. Sweet. Okay, cool. So we are ready to rock. Ready to take a look at some Necromundans. So, today is the release of the new Necromunda starter set. And to be honest, I really missed getting to play something by myself on the channel. So, it was going to be Curse City. I was super hyped. It was going to be Curse City, and then all the drama with it happened. Kind of killed my interest in it, to be honest. So it's about half painted. I will definitely finish painting it because the models are beautiful. Hello. But I am definitely not as interested in Curse City as I was previously because of all the drama and nonsense and all that stuff. It's just kind of ruined it a little bit for me. So I was like, alright, what do I want to play by myself? Do I want to play Warcry? I love Warcry. But I was like, no, I don't want to play Warcry. I was like, well, I really want to play something in 40k. I'm in the mood for guns and shooting and, chainsaw swords and shit like that. So I was like, alright, Kill Team's dead. At least until 2.0 comes out. So I was like, well, what else is there? And then it happened to be the week that Necromunda was going to come out. So I was like, screw it. You can see the start of the pile of Necromunda stuff that I picked up. I picked up a ton of Necromunda stuff. Most of the gangs and their expansions. And today I picked up all the releases from today. And I have the previous starter set coming as well. So I'm all in for Underhive battles and all of that goodness. So today, what actually released, besides the whole tangent that nobody actually cares about, they released some upgrade weapon sprues. Then we'll pop these open, take a look at them. They released one for Usher, which are like the ladies, and Goliath, which are like the meatheads. And we'll pop those open and take a look at them today as well, in addition to taking a look at the new starter set, which is right here. Still all shiny in its plastic. Ooh, shiny plastic. The starter set comes with 2 gangs, some walls, a board, templates, rule books, dice, pretty much everything to get started. Starter set's $150, which is a pretty decent price. Honestly, I wish it was a little bit cheaper, because you do end up getting some of the accoutrements as pretty cheap, but each gang is only $45, so you're only getting $90 worth of gangs and $60 worth of other stuff, which you definitely do get in this box. It just, if it was $125, it would be an amazing steal. Oh my god, yes, can I buy it? So this morning I woke up super early to go around all the shops in Honolulu and grab one of these before they sold out, because I was a dummy and hadn't pre-ordered it. So I did pre-order the weapons just because a little box of weapons is for a kit basher is amazing. So, alright, so let's swap over cameras. We'll take a better look at this box and see what's actually in the sucker. Alright, so do we want to do that camera, or let's do... Ooh, there we go. House Delac. Spy Masters and Assassins. And on the other side, we have House Escher, which are punk ladies. So that's a little close. Let's go back to that guy. No, camera, no. Come here, camera. Be my buddy. You're my friend. Don't be that far away. Don't be like that, Mr. Camera. Come on, you can get closer. I know you can. I believe in you. There we go. Alright, now you gotta look at my belly, though. Alright, so let's get this wrapping off. And we'll pop this sucker open. So on the front here, we have a guy that looks like he just came out of the freaking Matrix, fighting what looks like a group of roller derby girls. The basic idea for Necromunda is that it is this planet, Necromunda, And on this planet, there are all these giant hive cities. And they're all like giant industrial, like thousands and thousands of layers deep. Like you can be born on Necromunda and never see the sky kind of thing. And this is all the stories of, you know, what all the different factions in these hive cities are doing. That's kind of like the basic idea. So it's supposed to be not as like epic scale as real 40k or big, not real 40k, big 40k. And instead it's supposed to be more of like, you know, like real stories, right? Like these are the stories of like, you know, average day people and not like super space marines and stuff. Alright, so let's see what we got in here. First off, we have a runner of terrain. This is like barricades and like switches and ammo boxes and stuff like that. We'll take a closer look at that in a minute. And we have a runner for the Delac guys with all their trench coats and weird little needle knives, and one guy's got like a pimp cane with a dragon on it. And then it looks like we have another one of those runners. So this is pretty much what's going to come in a regular Delac gang box if you just bought the standalone box. And then we have a runner of Usher ladies. Oh, there's some cool stuff on here. There's like a big whip. Lots of really cool guns too. Alright, and then we have a duplicate of that same runner. And again, this is what would be in that, like the standard Usher box. We'll take a closer look at the runners in a second. Let me just pull all the runners out and then we'll look at them. We have one box, one sprue of terrain. So this is like walls. This is like all the walls and roofs and stuff. Thank you, I guess. Weird. And this is a different sprue of walls. This one includes double walls. And it looks like we've got two of that sprue, and we'll take a closer look at those in a minute. And then we have another sprue, which is like terminals and little tubes and some really cool like Promethium tanks. So we got two of that one, and then we have our template sprue, which we will also take a look at in a sec. Alright, so let me move this out of the way, because there's still a bunch of stuff underneath of it. Yeah, there's still a bunch of stuff under there. Let me move that out of the way, and let's take a look at the runners. So, full paint cam engage. There we go. And we can take a look at these runners a little bit better. So, this is one of the sprues for the terrain. You can see it is pretty big. So, this is a sister battle. Alright, so it's almost twice as tall as she is, which is pretty cool because these will make really nice walls and stuff. There's some kind of like terminal there. There's some kind of big tank here, and then some more walls. These kind of look like weird ends to the walls. And definitely cool stuff. It's definitely gonna make it feel kind of claustrophobic. So you get two of those, which is pretty cool. There's a ton of great detail. Like look at the fans and the wires, and you know, like I know a lot of people don't like to spend a ton of time painting terrain, but I feel like there's such a nice amount of detail in here that if you did, this could be really boss. So that's our one for the terrain. And we have this one here, which is the same kind of like tops, and then more little wall segments. Just more just little wall segments. I got little lights on them and stuff. You don't get a second one of this. You only get one of these. But definitely pretty cool. I'm sure all of this has been used before. I think this set's actually, the set of walls and stuff is actually sold by itself. I think it's something like $60 for just the set of walls. So it's pretty cool. And this is a big double wall segment. That's what this is. So you can see there's the two walls there, and then the double roof for it as well. But there's some cool stuff. There's like a crest there. There's a fan down there. And we got some wires and some pipes and little bits and bobs. Really, really beautiful terrain. I am, being the hedonistic glutton that I am, I did also buy the Dark Uprising box, which is the previous box. So this terrain will fit with all that terrain. So if you have that box, these runners probably look pretty similar to you because all this stuff's going to integrate with what you already have, which honestly I think is super cool. So, alright, let's see what we got here. We got some crates here filled with like bullets and grenades and stuff. And then we got some terminals, some busted up walls, some lids to the crates. There's what appears to be a time bomb made out of grenades. More little bits and bobs of walls. This thing, this weird skull thing, that's actually technically like the like who goes first token, but I don't know. You know, I'm going to be playing with myself primarily for this, so it doesn't really matter. And then we have this big tentacle here, which comes out of this tube. More little grenade bombs. There's a thing filled with guns. Just cool stuff. Really cool little bits and bobs to add to the board, which is really nice. And they all have details on the back as well. So all these have use in the game. So, you know, these walls and stuff, those all count as terrain. But all these crates and all, they all actually have stuff. Like your guys can basically use them to get ammo out of. Or you can use them as like objectives. And like these switches can be used to like open and close doors and stuff. I apologize. I'm apparently very, very sleepy. But yeah, definitely cool stuff. Really nice, like just straight up for just playing the game. Like a lot of this stuff, it's kind of fluff, but it also has like use in the game, which is really neat. Alright, so that's it for all the terrain. So you end up getting 6 runners of terrain, which is a pretty lot, to be honest. So let's do that one. There we go. I just realized my face cam was turned off, so we're going to fix that because I'm emotive. Alright, so let's take a look at the ladies. So this is Usher. They have this weird like punk roller derby aesthetic. Let me get a paintbrush. There we go. Alright, so it looks like we got some kind of big whip here, which is really cool. I think that's for like the leader. A couple different bodies. There should be 5 bodies on this runner. You do end up getting 10 ladies in total across the 2 runners. And we got some pistols. We've got what looks like a shotgun. That's some kind of plasma pistol. Stabby like trench knife. Another stabby trench knife. Another rifle. That's a bolt gun with like a needle rifle under it. That's really cool. All of their heads, all of their hair. Some of their hair is super wicked. Like look at that. That's fire. There's a sword. That's pretty cool. An auto gun. Auto pistol. Las rifle. That's technically a las rifle. And this thing is like a gas flamethrower. So this and this tank, they go together. So she has like one in one arm and one in the other. Really cool thing. I think it has rolls where like you don't have to hit to wound or hit to... You don't have to roll to hit or hit to wound or something like that too, which is pretty cool. So these are existing gangs in this box, which is a little sad. It would have been really cool to get 2 brand new gangs. So they are existing gangs, but they're brand new to me because I've never played Necromunda before. So I'm excited to learn about them and their 80s hair. So you get 2 of the same runner. This is pretty common with all the Necromunda stuff. Generally, like this will come in a box with instruction and bases, and that's usually what you get in just a regular gang box. All right, so next up we have the Delac. So they're kind of like, they look like they enjoyed the Matrix a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Like it's all like weird little pill anime eyes. from like Ghost in the Shell, and then like double pistols and like trench coats and super pale skin, and they're definitely cool. But I do think they are the I want to say they're the weaker of the looking of the factions, but 13-year-old me would probably have thought these guys were the coolest. And 30-year-old me is a little ashamed of that. So, you know, it is what it is. But we got some cool stuff in here. We've got lots of little knives. There's a shotgun, an auto rifle, more little knives to put on a belt. These really cool auto pistols with silencers. They're actually legit. More double pistols. They're like stub guns. So I don't know even what kind of pistol that is, but it's really cool looking. That one's really cool. And there's another one with a silencer. It's a big rifle in like a holster. There's a hand flamer. Another auto pistol. Another cane. And lots of like bodies and heads and stuff. So the heads all have that same kind of like 90s cyberpunk look to them, which is pretty cool. So I think these guys, their chests and their legs might actually be different pieces. I mean, that's how it looks like it assembles, but I think you might actually be able to swap them in and out. We'll see. But you get 2 of this runner, just like with Usher. Alright, so let's see what else is in this box. Return of the box. Return of the other camera angle. Okay. So this is the big blast template, the little blast template, and the flamethrower template. So these are used in the game for those specific weapons to see like the range and see what they hit. So if you have a flamethrower, you put this down and you're like, oh, it's flamethrower and all these guys, or oh, my grenade hit all these guys. These are really cool templates. I know they put these in every one of the starter boxes, but they have a lot of personality to them. They're really neat. So they are definitely nice to have, and definitely something you need to play the game, especially with, to my understanding, Usher, who has a lot of shooty, poppy kind of things. All right, so what is this? Gangs of the Underhive, Necromunda rulebook. Oh, this is actually super cool. All right. Okay, so this is sort of like a where to go next. It's a piece of advertising, but it's really neat. It shows you the different rule books, and it shows you each gang. So, and then it gives you a little blurb about them, which is really cool. So, like for down here in the corner, which, you know, there's the Corpse Grinder cult right there. They're like one of my favorite gangs. And it's like, the cannibalistic Corpse Grinder cults are savage heretics, dedicated to the Lord of Skin and Sinew, caring only for slaughter and the chance to feast upon their vanquished foes. That's pretty cool. It gives you a nice little blurb of like who each faction is. I should be angry at them including like advertising in a starter box, but to be honest, I think this is super cool. I think this is really nice, and it's a cool thing to put on the back of the like fold out. So yeah, that's really cool. I think that's a neat little addition I was not expecting. All right, back to the box. Okay, we've got Dove rules. Pop that open in a sec. All of our bases. Looks like they're all in the same base size. Wow. A lot of cards. Instructions for our ladies and for our bros and for our scenery. So the nice thing here is it's telling you what parts not to glue down, because the thing about all of this Necromunda scenery is that you can slide it all around. It's all modular. And then we have our different kinds of dice. As a Necromunda noob, I actually don't know what any of these dice are. It's what I was just trying to figure out. So let's take a better look at them. Well, let me get the box out of the way, and then we'll take a better look at the dice. There. Moving things around. Okay. Alright, so let's take a better look at these dice. Okay, so these are standard 6-sided dice. Yellow and black, presumably. Usher and what's it called? It would have been nice if they had given us some more of these. Like 6 dice. Like, yeah, you can do that. It should have given us 12 dice, though. Because then, like, you know, each side can have 6 dice. I guess in Necromunda you roll a lot less dice than you do in 40k, so maybe that's it. These, I think, are wound dice. So I think it's like flesh wound, serious injury, dead. I think that's what these are. So like when your guys go down, you roll to see how fucked up they are, basically. Hello. Sure. Yeah. And then I think these are like rapid fire dice. So every time you shoot, I think you roll one. Not super sure, but you get 4 of these as well. So, okay. So we can take a look at what's in this other bag over here. So as a Necromunda noob, I will say I am figuring all this out as I go along. Okay. Okay. We've got some tokens of some kind. Bleeding out, eyes, double wounds, some kind of like hole in the floor. Again, Necromunda noob, I'm not sure what the tokens are for, but they are very nice. And they feel like they're nice thick cardboard. Speaking of surprisingly nice and thick, we have the 12-inch roller. It is Necromunda branded on the ends there. And it's one of these nice kind of wavy, kind of bendy rollers. To be honest, as long as I'm not playing big 40k, these are like my favorite rollers. I use the one that came with the Warcry starter box like all the time. Alright. Oh, this is kind of disappointing. Alright, so this is... Let me swap to the other cam. Okay, so this is the board. It's kind of floppy. I would have expected something made out of cardboard more than like this like thick kind of shiny paper. But you get like one side, I guess, with like alarms on, and then one side without. Yeah, that's kind of disappointing. Not a big fan of that, to be honest. I will definitely not be using that. I will get myself a mat. Okay. Nope. There we go. Okay. So, this is a quick reference sheet. Okay, so this is so weird, right? The mat was super flimsy and crappy, but they give you 2 quick reference sheets. Just so you can see that there's 2 of them. So, yeah, that's weird. God. I looked at that picture of that rat. Did not see it was finger at first. I was like, damn, Necromunda, you hardcore. No, the weird rat is eating a finger, not what I thought it was eating, which is probably good. But these are just like sort of nice references of what the combat sequence is and the end phase, the shooting sequence, and the back. Let's see, there's shooting modifiers, injury dice, nerve tests, resolve. So, injury dice, lasting injuries, nerve tests, consolidate, coup de grace, resolve hits, check range, stray shots. Interesting. There's nothing in here about like the ammo, like rolling for ammo checks and stuff like that. So I guess this is more of like a simplified rules, I guess. But there's also a thing about going down and injuries and lasting injuries and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe it's like a hybrid. But definitely nice little thing, and it's really nice you get 2 of them, because then you and your opponent can both kind of have one, which is cool. Alright, so this is the Hive War Rulebook. Let's swap back to this guy for a minute. Hive War Rulebook. It's actually really nice and dense. You got some pictures, some usher ladies, got some fluff. You'll see if anything really jumps out at me. There we go. Okay, so let's see. We got a thing on background. So like 18 pages of background, which is really cool. General rules. Looks like it's about 10 pages. And then about another 15 pages for like actual rules. And there's actually a write-up on each house in here, which is really cool. I was not expecting that. I expected this to just have the 2 in the box. And then it's 6 scenarios that you can play, I guess, sort of to get into Necromunda. So, some shots of what's in the box. We got some fluff. Let me turn me off, actually, so you can see it a little better. Yeah, we got some shots there of the fluff. Really cool drawing of a hive city. Girl that looks like she just walked out of Tank Girl. Dude that looks like he just walked out of the Matrix. And then some cool pictures of models. Let's see. Oh wow, that's super cool. The like vertical board, because that's what that is. That's like a vertical board. That is super freaking cool. God, man, it would be so cool to have a vertical board like that and just like hang it on a wall. Yeah, so there's some more of it. Yeah. That's super cool. Gang fighters. There's a thing that walks through what every stat is. How to use fighter cards. General principles of the game. Your vision arc. What counts as being in cover. Measurement. So just basic rules stuff. I do know that the other Necromunda like starter sets, they broke it out into like beginning and like secondary rules. I don't know if this one does that. God, that's a cool picture. The dude there against the wall, like hiding with his sniper rifle. That's really cool. Flame templates, blah blah blah. There's a lot of rolls. I am yeah. Oh. There she is, all in color. I am going to be basically playing this all weekend on and off the channel. So like tomorrow we'll probably build a bunch of this, and then on Monday I actually took off work because I'm going to try to play through all 6 scenarios and see how it goes. Oh, okay. So let's take a minute and look at this. Let's go back to House Escher because they're the ones that come in the box. I thought this was just fluff. It's not. It's actually a condensed thing with all the stats and like a simplified set of roles. And then over on this side, you actually have the skills that Escher can have. That's really cool. This is way easier than the one in the full rule book, which is like numerous pages. It doesn't have all the equipment here, right? So, like the special stuff that I know, like the leaders, and the champions and stuff can get. It doesn't have all of that here. This is just like I think the stuff everybody can take. And there's also nothing. The roles for the Juves are not in here. Because you're supposed to have leaders, which you can have one of, champions, which you can have a couple of, gangers, and then Juves. And Juves are like the lowest of the low. Yeah, 2 quick weapon sheets, which is awesome. Yeah, so that's really interesting. I do think Juves is missing. Let's look at one of the other ones and see if they're missing there as well. Because there should be 4. Yeah, see, it only shows you gangers. There's no Juves. Very interesting. But you do have rundown for everything but Juves and their skills and like the generic weapons they can all have. And a nice little piece of fluff. Look at that guy. He's a happy fellow, isn't he? A nice little piece of fluff for each one. I will fully admit Vansar is not my jam. They're like the one faction I just really dislike. Alright, so how to set up a scenario. Loot caskets, booby traps, and then we get into the scenarios. If players wish to link their games together, as described on page 86, the victorious gang now controls this section of the thoroughfare, is able to launch assaults upon the rival's stronghold. Player controlling the victorious gang is automatically the attacker at the start of the next battle. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So I guess these are like learn to play kind of little simple scenarios. There's the deployment, and I guess they all connect up together. So my understanding is we get 6 of these. So it looks like there's 4 basic ones, I think, and then 2 advanced ones. Yeah, so then it gets into more advanced roles, like playing in darkness. That's kind of cool. Sneak attacks, sentries, fighting whatever the hell that is. Some kind of tentacle monster. Sorry, the tentacle monster was not on the screen. But there's rules for fighting some kind of tentacle monster. That's pretty cool. Defile the relic. And then there's more stuff there. Scenario can be played on a battlefield that features more than one level, by adding to the height of the walls and columns of the center of the battlefield, by linking those together. Well, yes, that's true for every game. Thank you. And then the last one is Riches in the Dark. So I guess each one of these is supposed to teach you a different thing about the game, which is pretty cool. I think this is going to be fun. We're going to play through probably all of those on Monday. And then we start getting into the weapon profiles. So there's a picture of different weapons that your guys can have and stuff. I would say because this rulebook seems great, like super great. I like pretty much everything I've seen in here, except there are no rules for Juves. That's my only complaint. Like, if they had just had the Juves in here, this would be like a perfect rulebook for this. I guess technically you don't really have to have Juves in your group. I guess you could just have all gangers, I guess. It's just weird they're not showing them off here. I mean, honestly, this is more than enough stuff to play with. And I guess if you wanted to get more into it, because this also doesn't have the rules for the special units, or like hangers on and stuff like that. It's more of a like get into the game kind of rule book, which I think is fair, right? I think that's pretty fair. So yeah, that's pretty good. And we'll go through it, and on Monday we'll sort of like read through each section and take every turn in going, and learn Necromunda, which is going to be a lot of fun. So, alright, so let's get into the last thing that was in here, which is some cards. So I think these are fighter cards and basic tactics cards. I'm curious if they are tactics cards for every single, or for like all the basic tactics, because I think there's like universal tactics, and then I think there's gang specific tactics. So we'll take a look at those. We'll just toss off to the side for now. All right. Wow, a lot more of this is fighter cards than I thought it would be. All right, so that about half of it is fighter cards, and these are just your basic, like, you put their name there, you put their stats there, stuff like that, if you want to write them in by hand. I mean, you get a lot of them. I mean, you get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Alright, so you get 21, which is enough for every model in the box plus an extra. So that's pretty cool. So if you wanted to build up everybody in the box, you could do that. I have heard that the recommendation is to like build a couple guys from the gang and like save the rest for when you're playing later, so you can give them different gear and stuff. That's what I've been told, but we'll see. I'm gonna make up a couple that I think are neat, and then probably make up some to like fill in to get to 1,000 points, right? So like, I know I want a lady with a flamethrower. I know I want a lady with some like evil cats and a whip, you know, like that. So, all right, so let's see. These are tactics. We'll take a look at them all, and yeah, I guess it's just tactics. All right, so we've got proper preparation here, and then are these the same? Deployed before the first round. Choose one of your fighters. Your fighter's weapons gain. Oh, that's super cool. You actually get two. You get 2 sets. Yeah, so that's super cool. So there's 2 of that one. 2 of that one. Watch out for the melt-a-trap. Start the battle after both sides have deployed, but before the first round. Choose one of the fighters to carry the melt-a-trap. Place those cards on the fighter's card. Once during the battle, the fighter is standing and active, then replace the following action. Fighter goes out of action before this action and roll a d6. On a 1, the trap is triggered. On a 2-3, place the melt-a-trap marker where the fighter stood. On a 4, discard this card. Okay, so you could actually maybe like place the trap multiple times. That'd be kind of cool. Alright, so there's a thing for frag trap. Yeah, I think it's really cool they give you 2 of these and then 2 of the quick reference sheets. I think that's super, super cool. We've got blood debt. When the fighter is taken out of action as a result of a shoot attack or coup de grace. Remainder of the battle, add 1 to the result of hit rolls for fighters belonging to the gang when they target the enemy fighter. Okay, so if they hurt one of your guys, you can be like, I've got a vendetta against that guy. Yeah. Activating just 1 fighter. You may activate 2 or 3 fighters. Kind of neat, I guess, if you just had a bunch of gangers instead of the champions activating all their buddies. Play this gang tactic when activating with one or more weapons that are out of ammo. So guy just pulls some ammo out of his ass. There you make the enemy run out of ammo, and then gas trap. So that's pretty cool. I really like that you have 2 of those. You've got 2 for each player. I think that's super cool. If we go back and we look at this, yeah, so it shows you. So thinking about the rules a little more, I just wanted to look at the quick reference again. So it shows you the round sequence. And then it shows you how to do how to do close combat, how to do shooting, all the modifiers, how to resolve hits, how to do wounds, and how to do nerve tests. This is really nice. I wish it had a list of basic actions your fighters could make on it. Like choosing to move or choosing to crawl or whatever. I wish that was on here as well. That would have been really nice to have on this quick reference sheet, especially for new players. So there's our friend the lewd rat. But so yeah, you get a ton of stuff. Yeah, I personally think as a new player to Necromunda, I think it's super good. I think will generally be good for me to learn the game. And to be honest, I think that's going to be the best test of whether or not this box is good. Is whether or not I can pick this game up in today. You know, because I watched a couple battle reports and stuff. And you know that certainly helps, right? I did that just so I could have a rough idea of what I was looking at. But you know that's not perfect, and it's not enough to be able to be like, I'm a gaming master, you know. So I think the book being a little simple will be super good, especially considering you know the reason a lot of my friends and stuff don't like to play Necromunda is because it is a little crunchier. So. Which confuses the hell out of me because they'll get super crunchy in 40k, and it's like, well, whatever. All right, so let's take a look at the rest of the reviews, or the rest of the reviews. No, the rest of the things that came out today. So there was 2 other Necromunda releases today. Necromunda's got some more releases on the way. Specifically, it has special units for Caldor and for Delac. So they're special guys you can add to your forces. Look pretty cool. Definitely some neat stuff there. But also we have the Usher weapon set and the Goliath weapon set. So let's open up the Usher weapon set first. So these are alternate weapons and extra weapons to give to your ladies. You can see on the back what it comes here with. There's also some new heads and hairs and new cute little things of gear and stuff. So this is just basically a runner of extra bits to give to your ladies. Alright, so we got the instructions. There's a big plasma gun. There's what looks like a heavy stubber. A needle rifle. I guess it's like a sniper rifle. It's pretty cool. A shotgun, a flamer, a meltagun. Yeah, and then a couple different pistols. And okay, so if we look at their runner, do they have any of these already? So that's a flamethrower. That's a las gun. They do not have these weapons. There is no needle rifle on here. There is no chain sword on here. There's a chain sword on this one. There's no heavy stubber. There's no plasma gun. There's a shotgun. Yeah, I see a shotgun there. I see all the pistols are duplicates. Yeah, there's no melt-a-gun on this one either, or no flamer. Yeah, so that's really cool. I guess this is the rest of the weapons that they got in their individual rulebook, given out to them. It's all good. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So you get 2 of the same runner. So you'll get 2 of each of these really neat weapons. And some really cool hairs, and little like weapon pouches and stuff like that. But definitely some cool stuff to add to your ladies. They might be a little bit easier to see in the back of the box, to be honest. Yeah, definitely some cool stuff to add to your ladies. I really like that needle rifle. I think that's super cool. And the flamer, I think, is really cool. It's a really cool model. So yeah, so you can kit them out and give them all kinds of goods. Alright, so the other thing that came out is not a set of weapons for House Delac, which kind of confuses me. I thought for sure it would be, but it's not. It's actually a set of weapons for House Goliath, who are like the meatheads. And this also gives them new heads. I think a new chest, maybe? I'm not sure. Like, that part there, his chest is colored in, but I don't think that's right. So, let's take a look at the instructions. Alright, so there's this weird spinny thing. Oh yeah, it is a new chest. Axes, swords, a pointing hand. There's one of the big old shotgun. That's cool. Yeah, big old axe too. That's also cool. And a big old hammer. Man, these guys are cool. You can get them some wicked mohawks. Their wicked mohawks just remind me that this is what happens when your mohawk grows out. And yeah, I really need to fucking cut my hair. Okay, so let's see. We have what looks like a melto rifle, an auto pistol, an axe, a big hammer, that really cool Doomslayer shotgun. This is some kind of flamer, a really cool axe, some kind of like stubber rifle, and a hand flamer. Yeah. And then some awesome like blade chainsaw mohawks. What's cooler than a mohawk? A mohawk made out of a fucking chainsaw. Yeah. So yeah, cool stuff. Super cool stuff. It is a little weird that this came out now, and not something for Delac. I thought for sure, like, you know, logically this should be a runner for Delac. It's a runner for Goliath, and it's even weirder given that Usher and Goliath were the 2 factions in the first Necromunda starter set, like 4 or 5 years ago, whenever it came out. So yeah, definitely weird, but I'll take it. I'm a big fan of getting just optional bits and weapons and pieces and stuff. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything that came out this weekend for Necromunda. Hopefully that was enjoyable. As a new player, I can say, I do think the new rulebook looks very cool, and it looks readable and understandable, so I'm looking forward to that. I do like that it's got all the gangs in there, and it's got other things, like there's the beast, there's the pit beast, you've got 6 scenarios to learn to play in here. Like I don't think this is a full like rule book replacement, but to be honest, it's, from someone who's never played, this seems like most of the way to me. This might be missing the last like 10 feet of the rule book, but to be honest, I think this is most the way to that. I am a little disappointed they don't have stats for Juves, But to be honest, I'm probably just going to make my list on Yak Tribe and use this as I'm playing to see the stats and to like just run over the rules when I start playing. So I will be building a bunch of this and a bunch of that and all the other stuff I have in the post that's coming for Necromunda. I really hope I like it. I'll be building all that tomorrow, having some fun with it, maybe actually painting if I build some of it today instead. And yeah, it should be pretty darn fun. And on Monday, we'll run through all the scenarios. So yeah, hopefully this was entertaining. I'll keep holding that like I'm Betty White or something. Hopefully it's entertaining and interesting and fun, I guess. I don't know really what to say there. But hopefully you enjoyed it or found this was useful. And I will be playing through these scenarios all on Monday. So there will be a bunch of videos up if you want to see the scenarios in depth. And we'll read through each one of them and then try acting it out with our little toy soldiers. But hopefully this was cool. I hope everybody has a good weekend and enjoys playing Necromunda.